Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus, and you are listening to Marcus Speaks on for another one on this Saturday afternoon, I will say. But if you listening to this at night to get your work done, today's episode is not a common one to talk about, but it's one that needs to be spoke of. But first, before I get into that, I would like to point out that I am on social media, as I've said before, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please follow me at those. It's Marcus Speaks on Facebook, Marcus.speaks.podcasting or podcast at on Instagram, and Marcus Speaks Podcast at on Twitter. So please follow me on those platforms. And here we go. And also, so I don't have to say it at the end of the show, please share, like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell icon so you can get notifications of every new episode. And yeah, that's it. So, okay, today's episode is about the effects of pornography on your relationship. So, what are the effects? The effects essentially are that within a percentage, men look at porn more than women do. It's within a 60 to 40 percentile. 60% men to 40% women. Under the age of 40. Over the age of 40, it goes down slightly. But within a percentile, if I could do so, it kind of tips the scale a little bit. It's men get more uninterested on the porn, so it's usually within a 30 to 15 percentile range. 30% men, 15% women, and then the other 60 or 55% women or men. Women and men really don't give a damn about it. So, alright, so the effects of of porn on relationships. Sorry. So, one of the effects is self-esteem, and that would be the self-esteem of the woman. Most likely, a woman will feel inadequate. She will feel most likely that the man doesn't really care, or well, I wouldn't say care, but really doesn't feel like he's into her all that much. So what I'm trying to say here is that research suggests that women whose male partner look at porn frequently may experience a loss of self-esteem. So basically, with that, it's, she feels inadequate. She doesn't feel like she matches up to the pornography that he's looking at. The perfection of the woman's body, which is highly unlikely for a porn star, depending on what he's looking at, because it's a lot of fetishes of porn and a lot of types of porn. So depending on what the guy's into, it's whatever he's looking at. So within the industry itself, the popular parts of the industry of it is usually the heterosexual girl on girl threesome, a male, two females, stuff like that. Like, usually it's women that's, not fat, but they're either thick or they're on the skinny side. So, she loses self-esteem because she thinks that the intensity of the porn isn't up to par to what she's given the male, and the body image of the women. She feels as if that she doesn't match up to those women. So that it's a self-esteem portion. So the effect on the relationship is men decrease both relationship and sexual satisfaction. So the satisfaction part, and I would throw relationship, like a loss of interest in the relationship also, I will say, because the satisfaction of it is that what he's looking at, what his brain is being stimulated on about, and I wouldn't just say just men, I would say males and females. The stimulation that both male and females get from watching the porn is basically it's like a dopamine hit, because within seeing the porn, you kind of imagine yourself fucking that person. So, everything that you're seeing within the porn, you're visualizing yourself doing. So the visualization of it is satisfying, and it gives a dopamine hit to the body, to where you're encompassing yourself of being the person that you're looking at. And women feel inadequate within certain realms of that, and some men feel inadequate in certain realms of that, because if, no homo, but let's say the man's well endowed and the female likes those types of porn actors with big penises, no homo, and shit like that, and the male is lacking, her boyfriend or husband is lacking in that area, then he'll feel a self-esteem issue, as though if that's what you're into, then whatever. So usually with men, it's a lot of types of porn for men to look at, such as big breasts, big ass, blowjobs, threesomes, shit like that, like certain fetish porn and shit like that, feet and shit like that. It's certain shit like that. So, married men and women who use pornography are more likely to get divorced than men and women who do not. Researchers say porn is a driver in making relationships worse, increase the divorce risk. Generally speaking, research tells us that a man's porn use decreases both relationship and sexual satisfaction, just like I was saying. A recent study looks at this issue over time, found that porn used by married men, especially heavy porn use, looking at porn one or more times per day, also doubles the likelihood of getting divorced. I would say to that, I don't know if that is true, because I'm not married myself, and if a man or a woman is using porn, then let's talk about it as if it's a drug. If someone is using porn like a drug daily, more than within my own personal respect of somebody else, but if you are having an addiction. That's more so an addiction. If you're looking at porn more than one time a day, one time a week is the most someone should look at porn. Maybe twice a week. But if you keep going back throughout the day watching porn, and you have a spouse at your and I mean this lightly, if you have a spouse at your disposal to get your rocks off, why the fuck are you sitting there looking at porn, jerking yourself or finger popping yourself? That shit's weird. Like, why the hell would you do something like that? Also, researchers suggest that women whose male partner look at porn frequently may experience a loss of self-esteem. I said that already. But also what I wanted to say within that, let's see. A common complaint for women feel, okay, yeah, I said that already too. Compete on realistic intensity and bodily perfection, yes. An unexpected side effect for men of heavy porn use is erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction, which you don't get turned on. When you see like a naked body, like in the real world, like you don't get as turned on as if when you see a porno. So if you have a naked woman right in front of you, real as day, you can touch and feel, you don't get as excited as you would as when you would see a porno. You also get delayed erection, and sometimes at most times, if not at all, I won't say at all, most times you won't reach orgasm if you watch porno, and that's from men. I would just say men. From men jerking themselves off. No homo. Because within the act of that, you're dumbing down your sensitivity level of when you go and have sexual intercourse with a female. But studies also have shown if you back up from watching porn, because that is the direct trigger of you jerking off, if you back up from that, you'll gain those nerve endings back, and basically you'll be a one-shot type of guy. Like, you'll bust off within the first couple seconds. So studies have shown that also. And these issues are affecting men of all ages, including younger men in their sexual prime. Sexual prime for men is between the ages of 17 to 21, I think. 18 to 21, if not 22, 23, if the prime has shifted a little bit. And women, it's between the ages of 33, 34 to like 50, maybe, I think it is. If not like 45 or so. Put simply, research showed that as men use porn repeatedly, their brains become conditioned to the novelty and hyper intensity that porn provides. I couldn't have put that any more like brightly. Like, it's true. Like, the dudes out there, I want to inflict a challenge on y'all. Let's say twice a week, y'all watch porn. Twice a week, watch porn, jerk off for a month. Have sexual intercourse in between, but jerk off about twice a week. I'm pretty sure everything that these studies have shown, erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction, and delayed erection, I'm pretty sure you'll go through all of those dysfunctions. Like, it's so real. And plus, okay, so with porn and the strip club run hand in hand to me, because both of them are enacting a fantasy. You've always, within a strip club, you've always liked for a woman to dance naked in front of you. The whole payment part comes with her job, because she has to be paid for her services. But you've always wanted a woman to dance naked in front of you, and you get turned on by it. That's the fantasy. With the porn, the fantasy of it is that maybe you've never been in a threesome, so you want to see what a threesome looks like, so you watch porn. You never been with an Asian girl, so you watch porn that have Asian women. Like it's basically the high intensity, and you know how you see porn, these motherfuckers is like Superman half the time. Like, they just fucking the shit out of these females, and it's crazy. So but the brain does condition itself when you watch porn, because then you become accustomed to certain stuff that you've never intended to do yourself, or you've never done yourself. So you basically can, like, men and women condition their brains when watching porn, because they're seeing something that they want to act out. And half the time, porn is like really unrealistic. But myself personally, I watch it myself, but it's very unrealistic, because usually porn is set up with like a scenario based storyline half the time, or it's maybe just amateur shit, and you just watching two strangers fucking. Well, that's basically what porn is within itself. It's you being a digital peeping Tom. Basically, you're watching two people have sex in the comfort of your own home, on a TV set, a phone screen, tablet screen, TV screen, computer screen. Like, you're being basically a peeping Tom without the creepiness behind it. So you're seeing yourself enacting these sexual acts on someone else, maybe someone you meet, or maybe but you're seeing it full-fledged on a screen, and it looks enticing to you, and it looks exciting to you, so you wanna enact on it. You wanna see what it's like. So it's basically you conditioning yourself on liking something that you've never been into before. Thus, a lone real-world partner seems less stimulating. Yeah. So let me back that up. Let me reread the first part to it, and then I'll read that part again. So, where am I at? So, and these issues are affecting men of all ages, including young men in their sexual prime. Put simply, research shows that as men use porn repeatedly, their brains become conditioned to the novelty and hyperintensity to porn that porn provides. Thus, a lone real-world partner seems less stimulating. So, like I was just saying, you finger bang yourself too many times, you jerk off too many times, you become numb down there to a point to where you don't actually feel for a man, you don't feel the pussy as well as you would if you weren't jerking off so much. For a woman, I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys even lose sensitivity down there if you guys finger yourselves or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's the overstimulating of the clit that you guys probably won't gain an orgasm from. So your clit becomes numb to where it can't be stimulated, so you won't get off. So sex is just basically a tedious act within with that. So you know what I mean, I say, and I'm not a doctor, back off from that the jerking off and the finger popping, because you're basically numbing yourself to the point to where you can't feel when you're having actual sex. Okay, so lastly, often these men have not. Often these men have. Wait, hold on. Where am I at? So often men have no troubles at all when looking at pornography. It is only with real world partners that they struggle. So yeah, like I was just saying, too much stimulation of you doing it yourself numbs you from feeling your partner. So yeah, when you like I was saying, when you overstimulate yourself, you basically become numb and you don't get the full experience of when you're with a real person. So in hindsight, with the whole women being having self-esteem issues, or let's put this on men too, men having self-esteem issues if their partner is having a problem with watching porn or whatever. Let's take this into consideration. Let's say that the person you're with is watching porn, and the person who doesn't watch the porn, how about you watch the porn with them? How about that? So you may not get anything out of watching the porn with them, but you might get a certain aspect of where your partner's at. So let's say your partner watches porn twice a week just to get off. But what the man's not really realizing within that is that every time he ejaculates, he's losing a piece of himself. His cum has a lot of vital vitamins and minerals. Has a lot of protein in it, and other helpful benefits of what sperm produces within the male body. It has a lot of testosterone in it. So plus it helps men be like aggressive within a way, because if you look at the animal kingdom, it's usually the bigger, the most aggressive male that gets the female. So if you rubbing 2 or 3 out a week, homie, like you're shifting yourself from an alpha male to a beta male. So by doing that or whatever, like it's a lot of like I said, it's a lot of vital things you're taking away from yourself when you're doing that to yourself. So be mindful, mainly is what I'm saying. So so back to what I was saying. Like, ladies, if you're having self-esteem issues with your boyfriend or something like that, with the porn, just watch it with them. Like, it won't hurt. Like, it won't hurt you. Yeah, it's probably seems weird to you that you're watching, two strangers have sex in front of you, but it's not actually in front of you. It's on your TV screen and it looks weird or whatever. But just envision yourself being them, being the people on the screen. So, yeah, try that or whatever to see how you like it, and it could be like an aphrodisiac for you and your spouse. Like, I mean, let's say if you into this type of thing, let's say you and your boyfriend smoking some weed, watching some porn. Y'all might get turned on while y'all high watching the porn. Y'all might get into something y'all self. So with that, the porn no longer becomes relevant because now you guys are enacting to enact yourselves. But be mindful of what you're doing, because maybe he wants to reenact something that he saw. So just keep the shit safe. That's all I'm saying. Just keep it safe. Concerns in high. Oh shit! Hold on. Okay, so concerns is high about the impact pornography may have. The negatives and subtleties including misuse of industry workers and human trafficking, child pornography addiction, problematic influences on our views in sexual and human relationships. So basically, numbing your brain, conditioning your brain to watching it too much to where, most of the shit seems taboo to when you hear shit about certain things or whatever of the sexual manner. So, i.e., Michael Jackson with little boys and R. Kelly peeing on little girls. Basically, that's whatever. Or the whole Me Too movement stuff. However, pornography may also be used in relationships in ways reported as being prominently positive and mutual. In some sexual behaviors outside of relationships may help stabilize some relationships under certain circumstances. So there is a bright side to it. Like I said, you and your boyfriend or you and your girlfriend on the couch or in the bed, y'all smoking a little bit of weed. If y'all into that type of thing, y'all drinking a little bit, y'all watching some porn, y'all get into it yourselves. The porn just became an aphrodisiac for y'all. The porn just became a starter or whatever. If it was a car, the porn would be the key to start the car up. So yeah, it's always positives in certain shit like this. It might be nasty to some, but for others, it's cool. Some people look at it as a work of art. Two humans fucking making art. That's how some people look at it. In a way, it is art. In a way, we all make the art. Sometimes it's bad art, i.e. bad sex, or it's good art, good sex, or i.e. it's great art, which is great sex. Like we've all been there. We all have had the good sex, the bad sex, and the great sex that we can't get anymore that we've had. So like I said earlier, it's like chasing a drug. When you see the crackhead out on the street, let's say you talk to the crackhead and you ask them, yo, why you get high all the time? The main thing that they'll probably say is that I'm trying to chase that first high I got. That's basically what it is with guys, because I would say, in my own personal experience, when I saw my first porn, I don't necessarily want to chase that feeling because I was young. Like I had to hide that I had porn in the first place. I was 15, so you know what I mean. Now it's like you don't have to hide shit like that. It's like, oh shit, I'm a grown ass man that watches porn every so often. So, yeah, man, like you have to look at it sometimes as, you gotta look at it right now. If you're grown, you gotta look at it to where if you got a girlfriend or a wife or a husband or a boyfriend, like you gotta look at it like, if that's what they're into, let me put my pride aside so I can go and experience what he's experiencing. So yeah, so in addition to the effects on individuals and relationships, the societal effects is considered pervasive, with contributions to undetermining women's rights, undermining women's rights, greater exposure of minors to pornography. So, okay, I have a problem with that. Like I said, I was young when I watched porn, and I would say 15. If it's a mature 15, it's a good age. A young acting 15-year-old of any age, of any gender, I would say no. That's a no-go. And this is what we also have to consider. Back in the day, men used to collect porn. So that was a father, or even before a father was a father, he had his own porn collection. So as he grew older and he had kids, and let's say he had a son, the son grows up to about good 16, 17 years old. The father would give and introduce his son to his porn collection. And then however the son went about giving the porn collection to whomever, a friend or whatever. That's how I used to see shit on TV. That's how I used to see shit in movies when I was growing up. Case in point, American Pie. The dad was giving the son pointers, and then therefore he found the son fucking a pie, and then whatever. So yeah, like I said, there's always pros and cons to certain things. Porn would be one of them, but it's more of an adult industry, so but we live in a world of technology where anything can be found. So kids having phones and stuff, and then having friends that may know about certain sites of where to get pornography, kids are looking at it too, or whatever. And like I said, there's lots of styles out there. There's hentai, which is an animated form, a Japanese animated form of porn, which depicts certain anime characters, I guess, as porn stars or something like that. Then you have fetish porn. Then you have you got threesome shit. You got the heterosexual. You got the gay stuff. Girl, the lesbian porn, stuff like that. It's all kinds of stuff out here. It's all kinds of stuff out here to look at. Viewing pornography at all, either on will shit. Hold on. Let me dial that back a little bit. Viewing pornography at all earlier on will predict a greater likelihood of experiencing romantic breakup later on. So, what that statement's basically saying is that if you gear your mind more towards looking forth to enacting what you saw in the video, and let's say you're in a relationship, so let's say you're into like real brutal hardcore porn, choking, hitting and shit like that. Now I would say a smack on the ass is pretty cool. Well, I said that real white. It's not pretty cool. It's okay. It's okay if the girl's into it. If the girl's into choking, you do that, but you don't introduce that shit while having sex or whatever. So yeah, like most likely introduction of new shit that a woman has never done before will end up in a breakup. So what else can I say about this? Most likely I'm gonna set up a part 2 to this because I want to get somebody back on here that I haven't had on here in a while about it, and I want to hit all these points that I've been making so far. So most studies of pornography use in heterosexual romantic relationships find that the association are gendered, most likely owning to different use patterns between men and women. Men are likely to view pornography more often than women, and are more likely to do so alone for the purpose of solo masturbation, while women are more likely to view pornography within the context of a romantic relationship as part of the love making. I just put that out there. I just said that just minutes ago. Women most likely look at porn when they're in a relationship. Most likely when they're in a relationship, but not always when they're in a relationship. Most of the times, if they ain't getting, any consistent dick on, when they're out of a relationship, that they're watching porn. If they're not getting consistent dick from whomever, or let's say they have multiple partners, if they ain't getting the consistent dick that they need, then most likely they're watching porn to get themselves off, because a woman needs some type of visual stimulation too while they doing their thing, like just like men do. Also, we need some type of visual stimulation while we looking at shit. So, or most of the time we'll just rope one out and then get the fuck up. Like, that's just what it is. So let me see if I have something else that I'm thinking about on this, and then I'll wrap it up. Nah, I ain't got no. So, to wrap this up, I will say, porn isn't all bad, but all porn isn't good. So, to further make this, okay, wait a minute. Before I do that, I got some. Effects on sexual performance and satisfaction. So I didn't get into that earlier. So, an unexpected side effect of heavy porn use in real. Yeah, I said that already. Sorry, I read that stat off. So what I want to say is that all porn isn't good and all porn isn't bad. So within the realm of watching it, make sure you're very vigilant of knowing what you're doing, because most likely you could be pushing out your partner from a sexual experience that you could be giving them more than you could be just giving it to yourself. And also, men and women who aren't down to viewing porn as such as an aphrodisiac or as a stimulator before having sex. Just find out what it is first before you knock it down. So that's all I really have to say on about that on today's episode. So please, again, follow me on social media. Do what you gotta do with the likes and the subscribes and all that. Tell somebody. And this is the end of this episode. So I will catch you on the next one. Please view all the other videos I've done so far, because after this video, it will be so the next video will be me doing 20 videos. So I've been doing this since April. So I've been very consistent for the past couple months, past 4 months. So just view some of the old stuff and just listen to my growth of what I've done so far. So thank you for listening. This is Marcus speaking. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.